Hello, good people. It is the HNIC because I am the head nigga in charge. Your player partner, Kendra Crump, coming all the way from Compton, California. Maybe. All right. So. Okay, so look. Every week or so, I always gotta bring a special guest on the line. I always gotta bring somebody who means something to the people. Even if you don't know them, as soon as you hear this person, you're gonna fall in love with them because they're just that amazing. Okay, they are a part of the Black Men Don't Cheat movement. Okay, this individual, he used to manage Michael Jackson. Okay, this individual was bodyguard for Princess Diana. Okay, this individual beat up Suge Knight. Okay, snuck into jail and beat him up. Okay. We have Atlanta's very own Pretty Ken Stokes in the building. How we doing?
What's happening, champ?
Did you like my little introduction? I put as much sauce on it, that ranch and barbecue and hot sauce all mixed together on it.
Hey man, we got the 2 on the 10. I like that. I like the way you put the 2 on the 10, baby. Absolutely.
That's right. Well, first off, thank you so much for gracing my podcast with your intelligence, your wittiness, your comedy. Like, guys, this man, we did a little talk before. I'm like, he is freaking hilarious. Like, get this man. I'm telling you, you need to start on ABC or something, child. Like, you are the star. You are the star. But okay, so you originally are from Atlanta. Let people know what side. 'Cause people will say Douglasville, but I'm like, guys, it's not Atlanta. What part of Atlanta are you from?
Baby, I'm from the west side of Atlanta, baby.
Okay, Zone 1, Adamsville.
Old No Drive.
Okay.
Yeah, well, Doug High Astro.
Okay, all right then. Well, look at that. Okay, so he's got credentials. He's legit, y'all. All right, so
he's legit, y'all.
So beforehand, we talked a little bit about God, and I did want to say, I felt like you do have those very you're very spiritual, man. When did you know for a fact that God was real for you? Not what, your mama taught you, grandma or the church. When did you have that realization, like the one-on-one moment that you knew God was real for you?
Now, this might sound crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But this is just who I am.
Okay, go ahead.
Nobody had to teach me it. I was never that selfish to feel like I was doing it all alone by myself. You know what I mean? I just always felt like somebody had me.
Mm-hmm.
Just the way things happened for me, that's the way I was able to move. I've always felt like somebody was with me.
Mm-hmm.
And nobody had to teach me that. Nobody had to say, hey, of course I learned God and all this, but nobody had to say, hey, it's real.
Mm-hmm.
Something in me made me realize that somebody walking with me. I don't mean to sound spooky or nothing, but so that's why I say, I don't really, I don't really need nobody to, and it's just me. This is only me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really need nobody to try to sell me God because I've always known He was right here with me.
That's real. I mean? That's real.
That's just, so that's me. That's it. Just like the same thing with confidence.
Mm-hmm.
We were talking about that.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody ever had to tell me that I was capable of doing whatever I wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it could have been my ignorance that I was just that foolish to think at a young age I can have the world if I want. But nobody ever told me I could, and nobody ever told me I couldn't.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying?
That's right.
So I dropped out of school in the 9th grade.
Okay, all right.
And I believe that was the reason I was able to think outside and stay outside the box.
That's right.
because I never came up in a system that taught me how to think.
That's true.
You see what I'm saying?
That's true.
So that goes back to what we were saying earlier about how the school system is set up to kill the confidence of black kids.
Speak on
it. So I never came up in a system that taught me I was less than, or I belong right here, or this is where my greatness is right here. This is the ceiling for my greatness right here. I never came up in the system that taught me that. So I've never created this thing in my mind that I can only have so much. I've never, that's never been a thought in my mind. So, but now, the unfortunate part is, very rarely do you find yourself around people who think the same.
That's true. That is very true.
You see what I'm saying? So, I grew up constantly in a room of 99, probably 98% of people not like me, but trying to move them in the way that I would move. If that make any sense. Which the way I move and the things we wanted takes a belief that's just unreal. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So trying to move a room full of people that don't have that same belief, damn near impossible. You see what I'm saying?
That's real. So
even to this day, if you look at it, it's not that people don't have the skill set. It's not that they're not capable of having whatever they want or doing whatever they want. They don't lack the resources. They don't lack nothing, because you don't have to have nothing. They lack the confidence. That's all. That's all it is. Confidence. Confidence is the killer of everything. And that's the part people never want to talk about. You know what I mean? Never ever want to talk about. Like that's like we were talking about earlier. I hate the word humble because of how it's used and when it's used. And we are controlled by words that are attached to an emotion. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I tell you all the time, I am grateful, thankful, blessed, appreciative of where my gift comes from, and I honor my God, but I am not humble. You see what I'm saying? And I will not be. And I know many people are going to disagree, and I get it. But if you ever pay attention to when that word is used, and who's using it, and who they're using it on at what time, you're going to totally understand what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? Like I always say, they'll never tell the worst player on the team to stay humble. They're always going to tell the best player on the team to stay humble. They're never going to tell somebody down and out to be humble. They're only going to tell the person at the top to be humble. And 20 times out of 20, the person telling you to be humble or stay humble is not as exceptional as you are. You would never hear somebody who was great as you or greater say, hey man, just be humble. Nah, they're going to tell you, hey boy, do your thing. Use what God has given you. That's what they're going to tell you. You know what I mean? But unfortunately, most of our day is spent around people who don't believe in themselves, people who lack the confidence to do big things. And so this is the conversation. Hey man, you just got to be humble. You got to work hard. You got to go harder. You got to be focused. You got to take a chance. You got to believe in yourself. You got to believe God has given you everything you need to be exactly what you want to be.
It's real.
That's what you got to do. So think about this. You gonna sit here and believe what somebody's saying over what God has shown you? Does that even make sense?
It doesn't.
From that vision that you just can't go to sleep on, That vision that just punch you in your stomach every day, making you feel the worst because you know you ain't doing what you're supposed to do. You're going to listen to this person telling you just be patient and be humble instead of paying attention to what God is showing you.
Mm-hmm.
It don't make sense. So the reason, this is just me, my opinion, the reason most people are in their position and not successful is because they don't have access to the right people and the right energy. You see what I'm saying?
That's real.
If you hang around 5 dopeheads, I promise you're gonna be on the set. That's just how it goes. So, just like if like a person who ain't shit and don't want to be shit can always find a crew.
They can.
You see what I'm saying?
They can.
People that are liars and cheaters and this and that, they can always find a crew to validate the way they feel and their actions. Just like if you want to be at the top and you want to be great and you're going to do what it takes, you're going to find that crew that's going to validate the way you feel and what you want. It's the same thing.
That's real.
So most people, like people always walking around talking about, I keep dating these dudes, I keep dating these women that ain't shit. I promise you, it's you.
That's
it's
real.
Because you want what you want without changing who you are.
They don't want to hear that though. They don't want to hear that though.
It don't work. That's not how it works. It doesn't work like that. You can't get what comes from change remaining the same.
Mm-hmm.
It don't happen. It does not happen. You see what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, our success and our failures are all that's on us. It's our fault either way. Because it all started with a decision.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But nobody wants to be accountable. Everybody wants to blame something.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody wants to say, hey, I don't want to be at the top. I don't want to do this. You're not. Don't worry about it. You're good. You won't be there. He's there for you. You know what I mean? So it's like they want to make all these excuses. Oh, he did this, or he did that, or he got on because of this. No. So you just gonna like the fact that this man he didn't go outside for 5 years because he was working on his plan.
Mm-hmm.
So you just gonna dismiss all that. Like the focus, dedication, hard work, the belief, and all this. None of that means anything.
Mm-hmm.
Like, come on now. But this is how they keep the arguments going and the debates going and the separation going. Oh, just think about this. Coming up. Oh, she's a dick. Oh, he think he all that. What the hell is somebody supposed to think about themselves? What would you rather him think? Or what would you rather her think about herself? Oh, I'm average. Does her thinking she average make you feel comfortable? Really think about this. This shit is not rocket science. It's very simple. The problem in our community is very small. It's simple. It's confidence.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're offended by me feeling like I'm the shit. I never said you wasn't the shit.
Mm-hmm.
How does me believing in me make you not believe in you? What kind of shit? Think about this.
Mm-hmm.
But it's been taught. It's been taught. Hey, he think he this. Oh, she think he that. This. So now you're selling this, which is dividing people. Oh, he cocky. No, what the fuck is cocky? You should feel the exact same way he does.
You should.
That's the issue. You want him to come down instead of you coming up.
Mm-hmm.
This shit is insane.
It is. It is.
Like, think about this shit. Like, really think about how crazy this shit is. to make folk feel comfortable, they want you to turn down your dream, turn down your vision.
Mm-hmm.
And then you try to have these conversations. Like, we can't have a conversation because you haven't even tried to do nothing big enough to deal with the problems I deal with.
Mm-hmm.
So my thing is, like, me and my buddy was talking the other day, it was like, oh, you ain't really got into God, I don't believe God, because you haven't tried to do something big enough that it was going to take God to make it work.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't did nothing big enough to need God. You keep doing a little small shit.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, that is the disconnect. And when people try to have these conversations, it's just like, no, I don't feel that way. I don't see what you, no, I don't. I don't know. The little crying and little shit no, I don't. Because you haven't even taken a chance on yourself. And you want to tell me about the issues that I'm dealing with, taking a chance on myself? It ain't the same. It's not the same.
It's real.
So even in what you're doing, constantly stay around people that are better than you right now.
Of course.
You see what I'm saying?
Of course.
Always. And that is going to make you got to stay hungry. You got to stay popping. And you can only doing that. You can only do that by being around people better than you.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? People driving you. Like, we have to be so aware of who we let enter our space when we're on our mission. You see what I'm saying?
That's real.
Because people are sent to slow you down.
They are.
You are. Yeah, absolutely.
They are.
You know what I mean? So, like, nobody ever wants to talk about that. Even, like, I'm watching right now, I'm looking at everybody, the Democrat, the Republican, this the black folk now going back and forth. Oh, you know, man, this and that. Oh, this and that. Ice Cube, this, every you do that. And I'm sitting here like, it's too totally. You pick this is just what I believe. You pick your party based on your lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
If you plan on having $50, $100 million in the next couple of years, then one party might be for you.
Mm-hmm.
If you never plan on having that or doing that, then something else might work for you. But don't ever think that the $50,000 a year person and the $100 million person have the same problems or need the same things. You know what I'm saying? So that's why they continue to make it about race and all this other stuff. Now, I'm not telling you. I mean, clearly, we know race is a thing. You know what I mean? But the way they keep us arguing is because nobody's paying attention to that. You see what I'm saying? If that makes any sense.
It does.
So it's just like we just so caught up in, I ain't mean to take it here, but it's just like we just so caught up in the words and the conversations others spark that have nothing to do with us, and they throw it in our little circle and we just go crazy with it and forget what's really going on. So we're so caught up in it, and that we can't get out of it, and it goes on and on and on. You know what I mean? So like that's why I tell people, man, listen. In order to be great, you have to be ready to turn your back on the crowd. You have to. You have to be okay with not being liked. You have to. It just, I promise you, if everybody like you, you ain't doing shit.
That's real. That's true.
If you got 1 million friends, boy, you are not threatening. You ain't doing shit. You should be so on your shit that it's uncomfortable to be around you if they ain't on theirs.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
That's right.
Like I got people that I won't even answer their phone call for. I won't even answer their phone call unless it's a certain time of the day. I literally can't be doing it. Like, really, I can't be doing shit to answer their phone call. Like, my day got to be over. I'm just chilling. Because I know they ain't about to talk about nothing. Nothing. So during my time where I need my mind, I need my energy, I need to be clear, I don't answer the phone. I don't answer the phone for them. And then when I don't have the energy or I don't have that thunder, I got people I call to get it. You see what I'm saying?
That's right. That's right.
So it's just like, but you got to be great. Because think about it. You finally get to heaven, well, you get to the gate. God say, hey, girl, let me ask you something. Do all that stuff I ain't, no, but you ain't getting no, why you ain't do nothing with it? You know what I mean? And you sitting there looking crazy. Well, I ain't really had the money. Go, what? Okay. I ain't had the connections. I ain't had this. I ain't had that. I ain't had
It's
that.
an excuse. An excuse.
God sitting there looking at you like, all right. You know what I mean? Like, we got to go, man. We got to go. And you can't feel bad. Think about this. How can somebody make you feel bad about being the shit? How can somebody make you feel bad about being the smartest person in class? How can somebody make you feel bad about being an exceptional athlete? The shit they talk about LeBron don't even make sense. We have been taught to hate greatness.
We have.
The reason Michael Jordan is the GOAT and this and that, yeah, okay, he did his thing, but he didn't come up in a time where it would just mean the haters.
That's true.
Niggas wanted to be like Mike.
They did.
Niggas at LA Fitness right now talking about they'll do LeBron. Like, man, you don't get this shit out of him. It'll never be another Michael Jackson because people wanted to be Michael Jackson.
That's true.
Now, nobody even appreciates somebody else's talent. They feel like they can do it. That's why you got so many of the same motherfuckers. You know what I mean? But anyway, Sean, go ahead. I'm just sorry.
No, you could have kept going. You could have kept going. You listen. Ken Stokes for mayor. Have you thought about doing anything that because you, like I said, you mentioned. Well, first off, did you actually go back to get your GED, or you still haven't got your GED?
I didn't, and it was funny. Let me tell you something. This is the funny part. Now, my wife had me too, but it was funny. I ain't never had no job. I've been cool ever since. But at one time I was, and I still should. And listen, all my kids had to go to college. They ain't got no choice. You know what I mean? My daughter graduated from Clark. My son graduated from high school this year. He got to go. They didn't have no choice. They got to. But I just came up in a household that education wasn't important. Surviving was. You know what I mean? So if I was making money at 14, 15 years old, that's what was important. You see what I'm saying? And then once I got to the point where I was making more money and folk parents and teachers, I'm just like, man, they doing something wrong.
Oh, let me find out I'm talking to an OG. Let me find out.
So it's like, what now? And like I tell my kids, the only thing I do regret and the only thing I feel bad about in my life is not finishing school and not at least trying college, because I just don't have that experience. You know what I mean?
It's never too late, Kim. It's never too late.
Yeah, I get. Yeah, I'm with y'all.
I'm serious about that.
Absolutely, dog. Absolutely. But it's like I've had so much success, and I've been able to do what I do that I've never, thought about going back. I thought about it once, but I didn't really. Ain't no excuse. I should.
It's out of sight, out of mind type thing for you.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially when you're doing well. And I got this thing I always tell people. I say, hey, man, don't let all that education keep you from being smart. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I've just acquired so many things over the years and so much knowledge. And I've just always been the guy that I learn with 2 feet in. I jump 2 feet in to figure it out. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny, I watched my son so bored with school. But he's smart, very smart. I mean, grade is going to be right every time, especially when you're ready to take something from him, come back with A's and B's. But he's bored. He's bored. He's like, Dad, they just sit there and show these presentations and just talk all day. But if you give him projects and shit to put his hands on, he's automatic. He's on it. He's in. And that's how we gotta figure out a way to get our boys into teach them some kind of way. Like, they have to be active, they have to be engaged, they have to be in it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And it's like, if you can sit there talking at boys, that shit ain't gonna really interest them. You know what I mean?
Mm. All right, sorry about that, guys. Apparently, I'm so popular, people just calling me just from out of nowhere. But go ahead, finish what you're saying about, you were talking about with your sons and how intellectual he is when it comes with the project part. And about, you were saying that he is really good when it comes with projects.
Yeah. We got to find a way to teach our boys. Like, people learn different ways. You know what I mean?
Have you thought about homeschooling your kids?
Shit, he's 12. He's in 12th grade.
I mean, well, before they, once, at a young age, did you ever think about homeschooling?
Nah, I was just thinking about taking care of.
Good.
You know what I mean? Like, I had my child at 19, and I had my son at 20. I think I was 26, 27.
Mm-hmm.
So I was moving and grooving. You know what I mean? Like, me and my daughter, she's 24. We had the best relationship ever. It's like, even when we talk, it's like, hey, and I have a 2-month-old. You know what I mean?
Well, hey, congratulations. Okay.
Yeah, well, thank you. Yeah, so I have a new daughter. And it's funny because with my oldest daughter, it's like, we talking, I'm like, hey, baby, we were growing up together. You know what I mean? Just like me and my mom. Me and my mom had the best relationship in the world now. But it just happened probably about 2 or 3 years ago.
Mm.
And when I talked to her, she's like, hey, man, don't worry about that. She's like, we were growing up together. You had me when you were 20 years old. I had my daughter when I was 20 years old. You know what I mean? So it's like, we were literally growing up together. You know what I mean? So a lot of things I couldn't offer my child because I was a child.
Mm-hmm.
I'm able to offer now. And especially with the youngest, she'll get it all.
Mm-hmm.
But and my son was able to get some good stuff. But yeah, it's just like, that's the life I chose over my decisions. And it's like, sometimes, well, not sometimes, you get older and you figure out what's important. You figure out, damn, I wish I could have done this different or this and that. But it's just life. And you got to keep moving, and you got to figure it out as you go. You know what I mean? Ain't no directions with this thing. You know what I mean? You just got to go.
I wanted to ask you. You mentioned how your mother had you at a young age, at 20. How you had your first daughter at 19, 20. That day that you found out that you were like, oh shoot, she's pregnant. What was it like? Reality shock for you? Were you like, you wanted, some people like they wanted a child, early, everybody's different. What was going on through your mind at that time once you found out, okay, well, I have a child, bringing them into this world?
when I found out my girl was pregnant with my daughter,
Mm-hmm.
I was excited.
Okay.
Because I didn't meet my dad till I was 30.
Really?
You know what I mean?
How was that
Yeah.
meeting?
Uh, it was weird.
Mm-hmm.
I met him. I found him on the internet.
Mm-hmm.
Went and met him, hollered at him, kicked it with him for a day,
Mm-hmm.
and didn't want to talk to him no more after that.
Got it.
Because I just felt like, man, you're a sucker. I would never do my kids like that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I felt like I didn't need him. I felt like I didn't get anything from him. And then I had an amazing stepdad. You know what I mean?
Good.
And what I realized is, and I was an asshole with him growing up. You know what I mean? I didn't appreciate him until I got older. But what I did realize when I met my dad, and I realized that I didn't miss anything. I didn't miss out on nothing because my stepdad was there, and he was a hell of a man. I just didn't appreciate him. You know what I mean? I was being an asshole. So I didn't feel like he was necessary, to be honest with you. Now, is that right or wrong? You know, I mean, people, you say whatever. But it's just like, for me, it's just like, you know, it just wasn't nothing there. But what it did do was make me be one hell of a dad.
Mm-hmm.
And make sure that I was there every day. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And make sure that they would never feel the way I felt during them times. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I did do that. So I know I hear a lot of people always say, well, they didn't have a father, they didn't have this, they didn't have that. I'm like, you know, two things gonna happen. You're gonna be a shitty dad, or you're gonna be a hell of a dad because of that same situation. You know what I mean? People just handle their situations different. I chose to be a hell of a dad and make sure my kids never felt like me and never be him. And some people just use that and say, shit, I ain't had no dad, so shit, I ain't gonna be no dad. Well, I don't know how to be a dad. You know what I mean? So it's all up to you how you gonna take it and deal with it.
That's real. That's actually real. What were some of the things that you you know, because I like the positive aspects that you took from, you know, not having your father there and everything, and how you could positively apply it to when you decided to have, you know, when you had your first child. What were some positive aspects that you took from your mom? You said that y'all's relationship got really great a couple of years ago, but growing up, what were some things, the positive aspects, which are you like, you know what, even though my mom isn't what I want for her to be right now, I'm going to still take this and I can, you know, use it.
So my mom could only use what she had.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? She grew up in a household where they weren't affectionate. My grandfather wasn't affectionate. You know, but he was to me, and that was weird. He wasn't to nobody else, but he was crazy about me.
Mm-hmm.
My grandma the same way.
Mm-hmm.
But for their kids, they just weren't affectionate. So they didn't grow up in that type of household where they told people they loved them and supported people and you know what I mean, just gave them encouraging words. Like, hey, that's not where she come from.
Mm-hmm.
So she didn't know how to give that. You know what I mean? But she was there. You know what I mean? She was there. She made sure you were good. And as I got older, I realized how she grew up. You know what I mean? I had to start looking at it like there's a reason for this.
Mm-hmm.
And once you realize that, then you're able to kind of deal with it a little better. You know what I mean? Become more understanding. Like, really, she was the best mother that she could be.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Being equipped with what she had. You know what I mean?
That's right.
And so as I got older, I was able to appreciate the fact that she didn't give me away.
Good.
She didn't leave me. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I turned it around. I felt like it was necessary for me to make this relationship what I wanted it to be.
Mm-hmm.
And she bought into it. And shit, but we can't even get on the phone with each other every day. Every morning, we see each other almost every day. I love you. You know, and it's important. And the main reason it become of that, it just hurt. Like, you can't be around my wife without just soaking that up and taking that all that love, man. Because that's just what she did. And man, it just happened. Everybody just turned around. The whole family turned it around, and it's like now it's just such a loving and caring family that it's never been. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And once again, that goes back to what I was saying earlier. It's like it's all about a decision. You know what I mean? I made a decision that this is what I wanted. This is what I wanted my family to look like.
Yeah.
And that's what I stuck with that decision and made it that. Just like what I was talking about earlier about being successful or not. Once you make that decision to be it or not, it's like it's your decision. It's your fault.
That's it.
You know what I mean? It's good or bad. It's your fault. You know what I mean? And we have to take accountability of everything. Our life, where we are. Like I like to say the other day, I said something like, if you're very honest with yourself, where you are in life right now and what you have should not be a surprise to you.
That's
you
it.
See what I'm saying?
That's true. That's true.
If you're very honest with yourself. You know, now if you still bullshitting yourself, talking about this and that, it's because of this or because of that, whatever. But you know, if you're very honest with yourself, and that's one thing I pride myself on. I self-check. I run a self-check quick. Like, hey, boy, come on, boy, you bullshitting. You talking about you over here grinding, boy, you ain't did shit in 2 days.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And then I have to snap back and get into it. But you got to have them talks with yourself when you're playing with yourself. You know what I mean?
And that, you know what? And that's, like I said, that's actually, man, you are prophetic. You know what? I feel like when I think about the Bible, how you have different prophets out there who can, you know, lead the nation and everything. I don't know. You're I feel like maybe that's like your calling in a sense. Like, have you found your calling? Have you done motivational speaking? Do you do that on a regular, like go to seminars or guest speaker in different classes across like universities across the US of A, or how are you using your talent? Like, what are you doing to reach out to everybody? Because you got a gift.
So I'm be honest with you. I spent so much time in my 20s and early 30s moving and grooving and moving and pouring into people that I never really had time to accept what it is special about me. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And then I grew up around a bunch of people that, even though I knew I was different, I knew I thought different, I knew I saw things different, I dumbed it down to be cool and to not feel weird. You know what I mean? So it took me, I'm 45 now, it took me to about 40 to even accept what it is that's cool about me. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And be okay with it. Mm-hmm. So, to answer your question, I'm still trying to figure out exactly what it is and how to use it. And I said this, it's funny, I said this in the interview a while ago.
Mm-hmm.
When I was young, when I was probably like 20, I believe, I had this old guy tell me, he was like, listen, kid, you're not going to get it before everybody else. You're not going to get it at the same time. But when you get it, it's going to be crazy. He said, the reason it's going to take you so long is because what God has given you, it's going to take you years to even figure it out. You know what I mean? And I'm just getting out.
Mm-hmm.
Like, to be honest with you, I'm just getting out. And I don't know what it is. I don't know how it's supposed to be developed. I don't know how I'm supposed to be used. But every day, I just keep being me, keep doing me, and eventually it'll come that way. You know what I mean?
That's real.
That make it?
No, it does. It does. When you were a lot younger, and I like how you had that OG sit there and talk to you. Do you have any people that I would say your lifelong friends who are in your circle who actually believed in you? Or do you remember that very first person, whether it had been a teacher, a relative, who actually said, you know what, you're destined for greatness. Whatever you want to do in life, I'm behind you 100%.
So here's the weird thing. I've never had that. Never. Not one time. What I had was a lot of people that realized how great I was and understanding that I didn't know it.
Mm-hmm.
And they tried to use it for them, if that makes any sense.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't understand or realize how advanced my thinking was and just how advanced my mind was. But they did.
Mm-hmm.
The older guys, they did understand it. And they didn't try to help me use it for me. They tried to help. They used it for them. And me not understanding, I'm thinking I'm doing something, I'm help this, that. But they were using it for them and keeping it from me. If that make any sense. So I never had anybody, not one person ever, to say, boy, you that guy, I'm with you, let's go. And that goes back to what I was saying. Like, I used to always hear, you got to be with like-minded people. But I never understood what that really meant until I got older. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I was never around people like me.
Mm-hmm.
Never. I was always trying to move people that were nothing like me. So I was in a constant fight and struggle. And people became upset, and people, and this is what I realized during that time. The way people treat you is the way they feel about themselves.
It's true.
You know what I mean?
It's very true.
It has nothing to do with you. And I used to think, what the hell am I doing wrong? What the hell am I'm trying to help them. I'm trying to help you. I'm trying to help you. But it was the way I believed. It was the way I was moving. It was the confidence I carried. It was the understanding that we can be whatever we want, do whatever we want. It was all of that I never realized was offensive.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So that's why being around like-minded people is important. Like, for instance, even just take basketball. just how Kyrie is when it comes to LeBron.
Mm-hmm.
Because he want to be the man.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, well, be the man. But LeBron not tripping about Kyrie. You see what I'm saying? But, I mean, we were balling together. We could have kept going and got us some more rings and did our thing. But it's like, it comes a time where somebody want to be the man. And you feel like you got to get away from the man
Mm-hmm.
to be the man.
Mm-hmm.
You feel what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But it's just like, but you look at somebody like Scottie Pippen, and he says, shit, Mike the man, I'm staying right here, so we're going to keep going. I'm going to do my thing, he do his thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Pippen didn't feel less than. He felt like Mike needed Pippen just as much as Pippen needed Mike. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But in order to be in that position, there's a certain level of confidence you have to carry. Because somebody else's greatness and light can't affect you. And that's not always the case. Most times that's not the case. So what people do is they get offended by your confidence and your grind, because what happens is in that moment they have to deal with themselves and think about what they ain't doing.
Mm-hmm.
You feel what I'm saying? So that's why it's hard for a real sucker to give a compliment. Like, it's hard for a sucker to say, hey man, boy, you looking good, boy, you ripped up. You been working, boy, you been getting. He can't do that because he know he ain't been doing shit. So in that moment, in that compliment, you got to think about what the fuck you ain't doing.
That's right.
So you can't compliment this person because you worried about yourself. You see what I'm saying? And it's because of what you think about yourself. But that's why confident people give it up for people. If you ever noticed it, a bad chick or a super confident chick quick to say, oh yeah, well, she pretty, or she this. A cool, confident dude quick to say, oh yeah, boy, that boy doing this thing. You feel what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Only people who lack confidence can't appreciate the greatness and the gifts of other people. So that's it. And the problem is, most of the world lack confidence, especially in the black community. We've been robbed of it.
Mm-hmm.
And to this day, as soon as you do something great, guess what? Oh, she thinks she popping now. Oh, now she thinks she did. She thinks she did. These folk don't even know you.
Exactly.
They don't even know you. So it's important for you to not buy into it and understand where it's coming from. They don't even mean it. That's all they know. That's all they know. Oh, I don't want no house that big. Oh, well, who want a house that big? You can't be it, man. Yeah, of course. Yeah, it's not for you. It's not for you. Oh, who want that? I don't need all that money. I don't want all that money. I don't want this. Yes, you're right. It's not for you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to be the biggest. Let me just get this. Hey, man, you're not even going to just get that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it's just, I literally know people that say they don't even want a promotion. Oh, man, I got a grade right here. You ever heard somebody say that? Man, I don't do shit at this job. Boy, this job's great, but I ain't got to do shit.
Yeah, of course. Most definitely. Most definitely. And I'm looking around, I'm like, okay. You say so.
You know what I mean? This is what we're dealing with, man. So we got to be assholes. We have to be we got to be super confident. We have to move different because ain't nobody up against what we up against.
Mm-hmm.
Damn the white boy, whoever's supposed to be at the top trying to stop us. Damn him or her.
Mm-hmm.
But that's where we coming from. We coming from the folk right next door.
Mm-hmm.
The people we got to walk past every day.
That's it.
The people we around every day. We got to deal with this first. We ain't got time to be thinking about that shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, man. I ain't gonna talk to you.
No, you listen. We listen. The audience is loving this. When this goes up on YouTube tonight or whenever, they gonna be like, this man. They gonna be rushing to your DMs. You're like, man, can you please adopt me? Like I ain't never had no. I'm telling you, like when you actually have people and to break it down the way that you're breaking it down, it's just. We all need that reassurance. We all need somebody to let us know, hey, man, you know what? Even though I wasn't taught this, I'm teaching you something.
Absolutely.
You know, and that's how it is.
We got to do it. We have to do it looking for nothing. Like, I do what I do because I wish somebody would have done it for me. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I wish somebody would have done it for me, but I didn't have it. So now I make it a point to, and I don't tell the cool shit about me. I don't tell the great stories about me, the successes and the shit I've done and I moved that. I don't. I tell you where I messed up. You know what I mean? And the reason I feel like I'm so cool is because I accept the bad part about me just as well as I accept the good part.
That's it.
You know what I mean?
That's it.
I don't treat it no different. You know what I mean? I don't try to dismiss or run from I messed up here, messed up. No. I love it. I eat it all. You know what I mean?
That's how it's supposed to be.
Yeah, so that's why I do what I do.
That's it. I wanted to ask you something where, okay, so high school, you drop out of high school. When did you did you have any dreams like as you got older and you say, you know what, this is actually what I want to do, and you actually were headed that way and actually was very successful in that? Like, did you want to be a rapper, or did you say, let me be a ball player? Like, what was something that you wanted to do and you excelled in that or so?
I've always, listen to me, I've always wanted to help people be the shit.
Okay.
Since I was 15 years old. I didn't even know that's what I was doing.
Mm-hmm.
I've always, from day one, I've always loved and appreciated people and was amazed by people who could do stuff that I couldn't do.
Mm-hmm.
And I always felt like, boy, the world needs to see this. I didn't even realize that's what I was doing until I got older. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But no matter what, I've always wanted to make somebody shine or help somebody shine. Always. If you go way back, I started music in 92.
Oh, way before I was born.
If you go way back, if you go through all the pictures and if you go through all this, you'll never find pictures of me. All of, like here, all in the pictures, all this, you'll never find it. Because I was always about the person I was promoting, the person I was with. Because I honestly always appreciated people's talent.
Mm-hmm.
Always. And I felt like that was my thing. I got to get you out here. Oh, boy, the world got to see you. Oh, but I've been doing this since 15 years old.
Really?
I've never done anything different. You know what I mean? So even when I wanted to rap, once I saw CeeLo and different folks rapping better than me, I was like, oh man, forget that. But they got to see you. You know, you the man. You know what I mean? So, but once again, that's that confidence, because I never ever felt less than.
Mm-hmm.
Never in my life have I ever felt like, oh, you the man, so I can't be the man.
Mm-hmm.
Or I never felt like your light was so bright that it was just dim in mine. I never felt any of that. I never felt that. I've never in my life felt, man, like I wasn't the man because you are the man. I've never felt like that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I don't, and once again, nobody taught me that. Nobody taught me that. And nobody told me I couldn't be the man. So it was like, I just picked it up and ran with it.
God instilled that into you. He taught that to you. Like, even if I'm like, and people, he's you know what, we fail to realize he's always talking to us. Even if we don't think he's talking to us, and he's using us to help those people. Do you remember the very first person who's probably well known now, or whatever it might be, who you actually did help and you got them there and they're like, you know what, thank you, man?
The first person that I was crazy about the talents was CeeLo. You know what I mean?
How'd you come across him? How'd you end up meeting him?
We grew up together.
Okay.
We all grew up together. Me, CeeLo, Big Boy Dre. We've been together for years, since high school. You know what I mean? So what I'm saying is, like, me and CeeLo we were a group. But he was just he was so damn good, like, that I didn't even want to rap no more. You know what I mean? I just wanted to help him. So everywhere we went, I was like, hey man, y'all got to hear that boy. Mm-hmm. Y'all got to hear him. Y'all got to hear him. You know what I mean? So eventually, we all went to the dungeon or whatever, and it jumped off. Rico Wade got it going, Organized Noise. They jumped it off and got it all going. But he was the first one that I was around to be like, good God almighty, this boy good. You know what I mean? And after that, we went on with other people. But that's just, man, that's always been my thing. And then I even saw people that were, I dealt with people too. You know what I mean? I ain't gonna put them names out there, but I definitely had people too that went on to be big, that I saw it in them and started with them, and was just like, you ain't taking it serious right now. I'm right now to figure out this big which one to do. And you know what I mean? So to this day, like, the only time I'm interested in music is when I was bumping into somebody that I feel like deserves a shot. You know what I mean? So it ain't never about, I want to be this big company, I want to do this. I just love seeing exceptional people getting shot.
That's it. That's real.
That's all I care about. I'll never forget one day my aunt, I was on the stairs. She was sitting on the stairs at my mom's house. And she's like, Ken, let me just ask you something. What gives you that feeling? That feeling like nothing else. And man, and it was crazy because it took me probably about 2 days to get back to her. Because at first I was like, man, motorcycle. When I'm on a motorcycle, I ain't got time to think about nothing else. Mm-hmm. If I let anything else into my mind other than what I'm doing, but I can die right there and I can hit someone or somebody hit me. Got to stay aware. And then I thought about it, and I was like, well, you know what? Nothing in the world gives me the feeling like seeing something in somebody that they didn't see in themselves and helping them become something that they never thought they could be. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Nothing in the world gives me that feeling. You know what I mean? And so that's just my thing, man. Good or bad, you know what I mean? I've done it to where it hurt me. I've done it to where it helps me. But that's just who I am, and that's something I can't never learn from. Like, no matter what, no matter if I try to run from it, it don't happen. It always is right back, and I'm right back in the same place every time. You know what I mean?
That's it. Well, knowing us, we're gonna be on here all day. I wanted to do a quick, rapid fire, fast five question, and you can be as in depth if you want to, and then we can go ahead and throw up the deuce. And until next time, okay.
Let's do it.
Excluding Tupac, Biggie, and Jay-Z, and yourself, give me your top 5 favorite rappers. From it can be from 1979 or up until now, like your top 5.
And now one of them I'm gonna be a little biased because
go ahead.
He just dropped a new album. This album I've been waiting on from him since I've known. So top 5. Now this top 5 ain't gonna be in no particular order.
Mm-hmm.
This is just my top 5.
Okay.
3,000.
All right.
Tip.
Okay.
Scarface.
Oh, okay.
Killer Mike.
Okay.
And it's just one guy for my film, and you're gonna have to look him up yourself. He never made it, and the only reason he never made it is because of him.
Of course.
He is probably the best rapper that. Oh man, I ain't put. Well, no. Okay, now. CeeLo would definitely be my fifth.
Add the 6th man. Who's the 6th man? Who's the guy? Because I want to look him up.
Bobby Creekwater.
Okay.
The most amazing rapper ever. He's probably the only guy that could have. Well, he could have shut everybody down.
Mm-hmm.
You just gotta go check him out, listen to his song, listen to his stuff.
I'm gonna listen. I like new music, especially if it's underground and stuff like that. People who haven't made it out there yet. I like that.
This boy, the rawest thing, he is raw, but he was his biggest problem. You know what I mean? Which a lot of us are. But yeah. So Bobby Creekwater, that's it. You gotta check out him now.
Okay. Question number 2. What's the best birthday you've had thus far? Like the best, where you like, you know what, I want to relive that night one more time.
For my 30th birthday, when I turned 30, I took everybody to the Cheesecake Factory. Everybody in there that we didn't know, we were all taking shots together. The whole bar, like the whole restaurant, we were taking shots together. Oh man, it was crazy. We had a ball. We had a blast that night. We walked across the street. This was Buckhead was still going crazy with all the clubs.
Mm-hmm.
We walked across the street to the club, party mode. Oh yeah, my 30th birthday, that was it. Now I probably wouldn't want to do as much drinking then because I paid for it that next day.
Hey, look, listen. Well, let me do a part 2 of that question. What's one alcohol that you said never again to? Everybody's got that one they said never again to.
Patron.
Okay.
No more Patron.
Okay.
No more.
It's some stories behind there. It's some stories behind there. Okay.
God, yeah, definitely.
All right. Question 3. What is your definition of a good ass day? We can start at night or start in the morning, like from the beginning until the end. What is your definition like that? That was just a good ass day.
A good ass day. I wake up playing Shaka Khan, Do You Love How You Feel?
Okay.
Followed by Michael Jackson, Baby Be Mine.
Okay.
Sun shining.
Mm-hmm.
Have a little bacon sandwich, hit the gym.
Okay.
Ideas flowing.
Mm-hmm.
Hitting all my goals throughout the day.
Okay.
Doing my thing, giving folk game.
Mm-hmm.
Hit the car wash, have a good conversation with the boys out there talking crazy, tripping.
Mm-hmm.
And man, come back home to my wife and kids, and have something to eat, watch TV, and talk crazy with them, and man, take it on in. Play the game with my son. Me and my son. That's how we talk. We sit down and play the PlayStation at night. You know what I mean? And like, don't take it to bed. Get ready for the next day.
Get those 8 hours of rest complete, just straight through. Don't wake up to use the restroom or none, just straight through. Okay.
Try at least.
What is like everybody's favorite go-to meal from you? Like they're like, you know what? Anytime we come over, you gotta make this. Like, what is your special entree meal that everybody loves?
Oh, I don't have that. I don't have that at all. I don't have that. I tell you, despite everybody know we're gonna hit a ride with it though. They know we're going to Chick-fil-A. I know that.
I thought you were a chef. You come off. You give me chef vibes. I thought you know.
No, I try, but I haven't spent that much time with it. And what's funny with me is I'm one of them guys that I'm not a foodie. You know what I mean? I'm damn near gonna eat the same thing everywhere we go. Because I eat when I'm hungry. You know what I mean? So I don't really eat just to be tasting stuff. So I eat when I'm hungry. I don't just sit around nibbling and tasting. But when I'm starting to get something to eat, I'm like, I'm hungry as hell. You know, it's been a long time since I ate. I need to grab something, keep moving. So yeah, I'm more that guy.
Okay. Well, hey, I appreciate your honesty. You know, some people like to try. I'm like, guys, you know you can't cook. Stop trying to cook people. Come on now. Stop doing that. Stop doing that. Okay, last question. You mentioned your wife. I do want to, ask this. Quick backstory. How did you guys meet? How did you propose? And that's it. How did you guys meet and how did you propose?
So we met on the radio. She had a radio show called Michael and Joe in the Morning. Mm-hmm. And I was promoting the album, and I went up there to do an interview. And that first time I met her, we were cool from there. We were friends. 2 years later, we hooked back up. Went out for a week. Mm-hmm. That first week, I knew I was going to 5 days. I knew I was going to marry.
Oh.
I think I proposed on Christmas. I know I proposed on Christmas. We started dating in July, I believe. June or July. Proposed on Christmas, and we got married in May that next year.
That works. That's my birthday month. Well, all right then. Well, go ahead. Let's shout out your your social media. Let people know what we can look out for you, in the future, or just let everything. Give everybody your pizzazz. Do that fiasco.
Yeah, well, of course you can find me on PK_ATL on Instagram. Look at the Pretty Ken show. The season 1 is already out. I did it last year. Season 2 is coming out at the top of this 2021. Mm-hmm. We're working on that right now. Mm-hmm. Got a podcast getting ready to start called Pretty Ken Presents Opinions with Assholes. With a bunch of fun at just being very honest about everything. Because I feel like that's what's missing. Mm-hmm. People can't say how they really feel about something because everybody got something to say. So I'm creating a show where it's just facts. Just let it rip. Say exactly what you want to say. Mm-hmm. And you know what I mean? So I got that comment. And me and Tip got a couple more things coming out. Of course, me and my wife were on the Family Hustle last season. Mm-hmm. So we're getting ready to the new season. I think we're getting ready to do something. So that's it. That's all PK got going, champ.
Okay. Well, thank you.
But check out the Pretty Ken show on YouTube.
Y'all better check it out now. If y'all don't check it out, I hope y'all catch a Charlie horse. All right, listen. This was my special guest, Pretty Ken Stokes. He said he's 45, but he's really 20 years old. I mean, despite the gray hair, that's just called wisdom. All right, so y'all please go ahead, check him out. Make sure I'm uploading this on YouTube. Make sure y'all subscribe now, okay? I got some good content. I'm already at 1,000 subscribers. I need 2,000 more. All right, I need 2 million more. How about that? All right, then. Peace, love, and soul.